Hello, I am back, and I have another sketchbook, so that's kind of fun, and I'm just gonna get right into it. So these are two of my characters. This is Leia, and this is Conrad. They're both dogs, if it matters. And once again, my sketchbook is all sorts of bowed and messed up, but that's fine. And these are a bunch of stickers, I guess. I honestly don't know where most of these came from. I got a lot of these from someone in one of my classes, and if she wants, I could like link her Instagram or something somewhere. So yeah, she's really nice. And yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, I got paint on here, but I don't care. And I will say, there are no pork products. I just could not fit this on the back. And yeah, here is the little, I guess, intro thing. I like the font here, and I might take this out and put it in my, I guess, current sketchbook. But yeah, this is just another, oh god, another welcome thing. These, I was just swatching some of my stuff. These are, I pretty much killed them because they're not meant for art. They're meant for, like, I think writing. And I lost the black one before I could do a little thing here, so that sucks. These are some colored pencils. This is some watercolor, and here's some gouache. And these are kind of what I use the most. And here we have some of my characters. These guys are Leia and Conrad, who are on the front. This is Waterrush and Thunderbird. These guys are married. Another Conrad. And this is Windrunner. This is Stormy. I don't like this at all, but we can just ignore that. This is Big Wings, who is Windrunner's brother. Here we have another character. This is Nightleaf, and this is her daughter, Autumn Fang. I ran track kind of before. I'm in cross country now, but this is a race. It's not a great time, but that's fine. This is Windrunner again, and here's the little clover that I found. These were the sketches, or like thumbnails for the cover, so those are really fun to do. And it's kind of similar. This took a hot minute to finish because I kept like going back and like fixing stuff. It took a while. These are just some random little marker doodles with my dogs, or I guess my dog characters, and some stuff with Stormy. This is another thing with Leia. These are some little sketches for an Easter page, which is right here. So we have Stormy again. This is Wolf, another character. And Leia. And this side I kind of gave up on, but here's Big Wings and Windrunner. And it's kind of a running joke that like Windrunner wears dresses and stuff. It like started with something a friend said, and now it continues. Here's a little thing with Stormsinger. He's being edgy over here. And this page talks about Sunflare, who is his youngest son. And yeah, canonically he died like 7 years ago, I guess. So he's just talking about all of that there. This was fun to do. Here's some more stuff with Conrad. And I think I was like procrastinating on a project, so that was fun. Some stuff with Stormy, and Waterrush is also here. This, okay, so we had a self-portrait project in art, and I wanted to be petty, so instead of working on that, I drew other self-portraits. So yeah, the people. here's a page. I kept covering stuff up and it was just not going well. So I just drew Windrunner instead. Because that's what you do. These pages, so we have like these things called, I guess, EOCs. And I took one of the scratch papers and I just drew a bunch of stuff with Stormy. And technically you're not supposed to do this, but I did it. Here's some just random stuff with Conrad, and here's some stuff up here. I was showing my sister the difference between different sizes of pens here. This was something, another track race. The time could have been better, but I was coming off of an injury, so there's also a little Windrunner down here. And he's like, he does track and stuff. He's pretty fast in my little universe. Here was just some random, I don't know what I was doing here. Here I thought of a concept, so it'll get into that, but I just felt like drawing Stormsinger, and because, you know, the concept's about him, so. But yeah, this was kind of the concept, because I was thinking making him trans, it like, I guess, kind of like fills a lot of plot holes and stuff, and also I only have like one other trans character, and I thought, hey, you know, might as well give him some representation, so here I got Stormy. Here okay, so I should say, my order in these things makes no sense. Like, he was an adult on that page, and now he's a kid, so I can't like work chronologically. I'm all over the place, basically, so yeah, that happened. Basically, I was thinking about the process for like, I guess, prosthetic spikes, so here's all that. You can read it if you want. And here he is, sitting, looking at a little, I guess, a spike brochure. Here's just some other little things about that. This is his sister, Pondcase. She's awesome. Here he is with the little brochure again. We had a project in biology, so I was doing some stuff with that. Here's some more stuff with Stormy. He's just talking about his whole experience. This was another little story page. This is Bluey, if it matters. He has a whole bunch of stuffed animals, and that's one of them. This was some other stuff for my science class, and these little dudes are cool if you want to look into them. That's what they're kind of called. They're sea slugs. This was a spread I did for a video, so that was kind of fun. I think I was in study hall or something and I got bored. Actually, I don't know about this page, but this page, it was, okay, so because we had testing, the study hall kids had to sit in the gym, which got really hot. And then I was like, you know, it'd be funny if, this is Running Hair, if Running Hair was, okay, oh my god, context. Okay, so Running Hair and Big Wings, they are boyfriends, and it could be a running joke, I guess, for Big Wings to constantly call him hot. So that's where my brain went. Yeah, it'd make... Anyways, here's some more Stormy doodles. And, yeah. Here he's just... Stormsinger didn't do well in school. He has some, like, I guess you could call them learning disabilities going on. So he was kind of talking about some stuff there, if you want to read that. Here, I copied the lyrics wrong, but this is from a song, so, yeah. Here, okay, this starts the whole comic that I'll eventually get to. But basically, Stormy is dead named, and that's not good. So, now there's the whole comic about it. And, yeah, there's gonna be a character introduced here, so that'll be fun. yeah, it basically just, okay, so Stormsinger and this character who you'll learn that her name is Kipping Joy, or General K. So they used to be friends, and then they got separated, and now they're kind of talking again. So they're just kind of learning different things about each other, including Stormsinger's name. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, it just continues. Here, this is not part of the comic, it's just there. But yeah, Stormsinger just kind of like, hey yo, you know, that's not my name, you can call me all this instead. And yeah. Oh, and there's Leia. These were some, I forgot to finish this page, and then I just came back and doodled some stuff. And Stormsinger's really short, so I had to make a joke about that here. Here is some stuff as Kipping Joy and Stormsinger as kids, so that was fun. I like how she looks here, although I messed Stormsinger up, so that sucks. This was, okay, so Waterburst and Thunderbird, they have a daughter, her name is Taya, and she's so cute. I forgot to finish this page, but I did all this here. I don't know why it's green, but yeah, here she is. She's so cute. These pages, so basically I just covered them in acrylic, and then I made an acrylic spread, and it was really fun to do. So we got Kipping Joy on this side, Stormy on this side. Stormy's a hot mess as always. Kipping Joy is just there. Another random Stormy page. This is a really cool, well, I think it's pretty cool. I found it in a magazine, and here's the person who did it. And yeah, then I drew Leia, I guess. I cannot turn things. Oh, here's another acrylic spread with Stormsinger again. So yeah, some edgy stuff going on. Here, this page is a mess, but I was just drawing some stuff with Windrunner. Here's some stuff with Stormy, and I just glue random stuff into here sometimes. So sticky note, here's some notebook paper. So yeah, this was another page. Here's Waterrush again, but yeah, some more stuff with Stormy. He's not doing great on this page. Another page. I think I was gonna color some stuff on here, but I totally forgot. Some more stuff over here. I think I was, again, procrastinating in art class because I was being petty. Here is a little Leia page, and it's kind of funny, but I drew her in red, and then I didn't like how she looked, so I drew her over this, and now you can see her eye in the middle of her face, so that's kind of fun. But I do like the blue a lot more. Here I was messing with like gas masks and goggles and stuff, and I did some pretty cool stuff with that. Yes, I made some finished illustrations, which I thought was, well, they're not entirely finished, but I thought they were kind of cool. So here they are. And then some other little things. It was raining, so I did that. They're not pleased. Well, Waterrush isn't pleased about that. This was a little concept that I started with, well, not Stormy, but just the universe in general. Here I was messing with the plot, but then I never said what the plot was. So it's too much to explain, but that happened. These are some scratches. He broke his jaw, so that's why his teeth are kind of messed up. There's some more little sketchy things with his sister, Prangaze, and as well as his brother, who's right there. And here's just a little thing where I guess the doctor is talking about some stuff. And it's like, hey, be nice to Stormy, he has issues. This is Stormy's little stuffed animal collection, and he's so happy, he's so cute. So, Bluey, Greenie, all these guys are called Collie. My sister thought of this, and I thought it was funny. We got Happy and Angry. I need to fix Squishy because I messed this up so bad. This is Ducky. It's such an original name. I thought of a bunch of others, but I never actually drew them. And my god, it would just be like 15 billion pages of just names that end in Y, because that's Stormy for you. Hey, his name ends in a Y. Here, I was trying to mess around with Water Rush's dad, and like, yeah, it's just not. We ignore this page. This is some stuff I did for Mermaid, with these guys, and Water Rush, he needs help. I was gonna do a little aftermath thing where they're just like, screw you, why did you make us into fish? But I didn't finish that, and my brother made some amazing smiley faces. So that happened. This is some stuff where I was just trying to, again, fill a space. And I started making Leia out of clay, which I haven't finished yet, but I'm getting there. So that's been really fun. So I was just doing some stuff here to kind of, I guess, give myself a base. It was one day before June, I think. So I was just doing some stuff here. And Leia, she's lesbian. So I did some of that. Here's Stormy with some stuff with all this. And yeah, he got outed, so that sucks. And I kind of just like glossed over this. I didn't really go into depth about it. Partially because I feel like he just kind of, not got over it per se, but he was just kind of like, whatever. And I don't think he would want to like dwell on it a bunch either, so I don't know, I guess I just didn't. Here, Pride Month began, and yeah, I was gonna do like another little thing with this, just like Windrunner trying to help her get with someone, but then I forgot to do that. Here's just a little Stormy page, and he likes flowers, so just flower stuff, and here's some. This was, I think I just got some stuff and I was just messing around with it. And, oh no, I hadn't drawn for like 3 days, so I was just trying to, I guess, get back into it, which, you know, that's similar enough. But, yeah, she's just talking about her job here. So that was kind of fun, if you want to read that. Here are some more stuff with Leia, and she's kind of not happy with Stormsinger. It's reasonable. Here was just some other little things, and I started a comic after this, because that just happens sometimes. So yeah, basically, Leia's just going through some stuff. She's not happy. But Stormy, he's like a dad to literally everyone. So he's like, "Ayo, we can talk. What's wrong?" These are just some little doodles to just draw something for that day. These, we had gone to the Buffalo River, so I was just trying to like draw stuff before we set off. Because I wasn't going to take my sketchbook on a week-long camping trip, because that would be an awful idea. So yeah, some stuff here. This is we got back, so we rented a cabin the last day. And I took some watercolor and I just messed around. So that's what this page is, page. But yeah, Leia, we got Taya. This is just a random sketch page. And here's some stuff with Stormy being edgy, because he's that character that has to be edgy, because I guess I make him that way. But yeah. Here's Conrad, who I kind of forgot about, and I felt bad, so I drew him. And him and Leia, Leia kind of like raised him, but then some stuff happened. I don't know what really happened, but they're not on good terms. And here I got some nail polish, and yeah, my characters were, I guess, trying it out. And even with these tiny little things, nail polish is not good to work with at all. 0 out of 10. Here I did a little thing with Thunderbird, also trying some stuff out. And yeah, this is just a random page with Stormy and Nightleaf. These are just some random little sketch pages with these guys were, I guess, teenagers on this page, and they were just, yeah. This is some random stuff. Yeah. This was a spread with all my characters, so Wolf and Windy, and then we got Thunderbird and all these guys. So Conrad, Leia, and Nightleaf. And then we have Stormy over here, and Big Wings, and Running Hair, and Waterish. So, I mean, I already said all their names, but there are also way more than these guys, but these are kind of the main ones, if it matters. So, yeah. Spread. We were at an outside, I guess, venue, and my sister wanted me to draw some stuff, so I did that. Some random stuff here, and finishing off the sketchbook, I did a little comic with Stormy. And basically, I was thinking, so, because Stormy is trans, not all dragons would agree with that, because that's just how life is. And there could be I guess, professor or someone talking to him about different views about it. So yeah, they're just discussing some stuff. And yeah, just kind of goes on. And I, for some odd reason, like, color coded the speech bubbles, and I'm not sure why I did that, but whatever. These were kind of fun, although it hurts to say that. And yeah, but this was kind of fun to draw. So with all that, he kind of gets mad, obviously. So, yeah. And I don't think I've written him saying heck before, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, it just kind of ends off with the teacher or whatever kind of cutting him off, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're done, you can leave. So he has to say his little snarky response at the end. And that's about it. So Waterish is overly innocent, so he's like, hey, what is all this? Please help. And yeah, that's all that I have in this one. Okay, goodbye.